A very good evening to you all. You're joining us on Prime TV News. I'm Dilani Chatilaka. Let's have a look at the headlines first. Colombo Air Symposium begins under the patronage of the President. Prime Minister refers to the importance of strengthening the export economy. Nalaka de Silva appears at the CID. Investigators work at the scene of the deadly shooting and blast in Crimea. Now for news in detail. The Colombo Air Symposium 2018 opened today under the auspices of President Maithripala Sirisena. The conference commenced at the Eagles Lakeside Conference Hall in Attidia. This has been named Aircraft Strategy to prove Sri Lanka's geostrategic importance. Its objective is to share the knowledge of air traffic in the zones of the region. It is being organized by the Sri Lanka Air Force for the 4th occasion. Various diplomatic officials, including members of world military leaders, technical experts and intelligence officers will join in it. A group including many parliamentarians was present. Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe has emphasized the need for the creation of a new tourism culture. He also underlined the importance of further strengthening the export economy of the country.
Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe made these references joining as the chief guest at the 53rd annual conference of the Hotel Forum. The conference was organized at the Shangri-La Hotel in Colombo. Several persons dedicated on behalf of the hotel trade received awards from the Prime Minister. Speaking further, the Prime Minister pointed out that they had the ability of developing tourism industry. This industry is subject to daily changes.
We have great potential as a tourist industry, taking as a whole. So we will treat you as an export sector. So we have to rethink. So let's all sit down together, work it out, and then I'll also give you the incentives. But remember, before you put hotels or rooms, we must put hotel schools. I'll give the hotel schools the same incentives as I'm giving new hotels if you start up. Because at the end of the day, it depends on the services you give. It's not on the cement, it's not on the concrete. It's not just on what you have as decor. What we are lacking here today are hotel schools. We are not developing our cuisine, we are not developing our hotel services. So let's take a package, we sit down with you, we'll work it out. We want tourism to be a big earner, and I am not looking at tourism where you have 20 million tourists in a country of 22 million. Better to have 5 million or 6 million, of which about 3 million are good spenders and 3 million others. So let's work on it, let's develop the services, and let's take a new look at tourism, and those incentives we can give you and the help that we can give you, it's all there.
Former President Mahinda Rajapaksa is reported to have ignored journalists without responding to their questions after a media discussion held at the official residence of the former president. This news conference was summoned to talk about the freedom granted to Johnston Fernando and about the behavior of the Financial Crimes Investigation Division. Only GL Pires and Johnston Fernando had expressed views to the media. It has been revealed in courts that the vehicle used to kidnap 11 youths from Colombo and the suburbs was in the possession of Navy Sampath alias former Lieutenant Commander Chandana Prasad Hettiarachchi. Inquiries were made following an order given by the court with respect to the vehicle said to have been used to kidnap the disappeared youth. Accordingly, following queries made from the Navy commander, it was revealed that the vehicle concerned was in the possession of Chandana Prasad Hettiarachchi during the year 2008-2009. Nishanta Silva, the police inspector of the Criminal Investigations Department, informed the court that this vehicle was under the supervision of the sixth suspect, DKP Dasanayaka. Also, Navy Sampath is reported to have served under Dasanayaka. The Criminal Investigations Department told the judiciary that they had still not received certain reports, even though bank accounts reports with respect to the incident had been requested. Meanwhile, Colombo Fort Acting Magistrate Jayantha Dias Nanayakara Vihara today ordered to further remand Chandana Prasad Hettiarachchi until the 25th of this month. The magistrate ordered the Criminal Investigations Department to further investigate the incident and report its progress to courts. Attorney Achala Senaviratna appeared on behalf of the aggrieved party. Former DIG Nalaka De Silva arrived at the Criminal Investigations Department today. Former DIG Nalaka De Silva was ordered to appear before the CID on the 16th of this month. However, owing to a personal reason, he failed to comply with the instructions of the CID. Nalaka De Silva, also former director of the Terrorism Investigation Division, is currently under investigation in connection with an alleged conspiracy to assassinate the President, the former Defence Secretary and several persons. Meanwhile, the approval of the Police Commission was received yesterday to interdict DIG Nalaka De Silva. The Registrar General's Department is to launch a one-day service for the registration of land deeds. Registrar General N.C. Vithanage said that it is planned to launch this service on the 22nd of this month. Registrar General N.C. Vithanage said that they plan to amend the present strategy in the registration of land deeds. The launch of this one-day service for registering land deeds will take place at Temple Trees on the 22nd of this month under the patronage of Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe. This would also earn a considerable income. The people can obtain this one-day service from any registration office in the island. At present, the fee levied for the registration of any land is 100 rupees. But under the one-day service, he said that they plan to levy a fee of 5,000 rupees. The department at present provides 2,000 million rupees to the government. It is hoped to increase this amount to 8,000 million rupees and provide some service to the people. Further expressing his views, he referred to a plan to launch a program for the conservation of documents. He said that the main purpose of this effort is to overcome false documents. The Registrar General said that it has been found that many false documents are in circulation. To overcome this menace, it is hoped to soon introduce a program for the conservation of documents. The birth certificate is another weak center, and this is being forged in many ways throughout the island. They have planned to issue a birth certificate at the national level from January next year. Veteran vocalist Professor Amaratunga, who had endowed many popular songs to the fans, bid farewell to the nation this afternoon. Amara Ranatunga, who was the first local professor on music, passed away recently at the age of 79. Massive crowds descended upon her house at Navala since her remains were placed there to pay their final respects. President Maithripala Sirisena has paid his last respect to Professor Amara Ranatunga. The president arrived at the Navala residence and paid his final respects. Thereafter, the president expressed his condolences to the family members, including her husband Dayaratne Ranatunga. Almost all songs rendered by her became very much popular. The funeral took place at the General Cemetery, Kanata, this afternoon. A large and distinguished gathering, including many artists, was present. The National Wap Magul function will be held under the patronage of the President. It is planned to be held at Tissa Maharama. A media discussion in this respect was held in Colombo today. At this news conference, the minister emphasized that no permission will be granted to reclaim paddy land. The minister said that as a relief measure, some concessions are granted for paddy lands to cultivate other crops. 3,800 applications have been submitted in the Western Province for reclamation of paddy land. He said that they would have to change the name of the Agrarian Development Department as the Land Reclamation Development Department if responses were made to all these applicants. He said that if it is difficult to cultivate the land with paddy, some other crops can be cultivated. He said that these lands could be used for the cultivation of any crops or maintain fish tanks. He claimed that there are some who are well organized for the reclamation of these lands. Sources emanating from the Attorney General's department claims that it is planned to file a revised petition challenging the ruling, acquitting and releasing 3 persons, including former Minister Johnston Fernando. Meanwhile, the Supreme Court today fixed for hearing on the 26th of June next year the revised petition filed by Johnston Fernando seeking bail. 3 persons, including Johnston Fernando, are accused of misappropriating a sum of 5.2 million rupees of government funds. The Kurunegala Magistrates Court yesterday acquitted and released them from this accusation. It was done without summoning the witnesses from the defense. It is mentioned that the Attorney General hopes to file a revised petition challenging this order. The Attorney General had filed the case claiming that a haul of goods had been obtained from the Yantampalawa Satusa warehouse in Kurunegala during the Waimba Provincial Council election without paying the amount that had to be paid, misappropriating state funds. In the meantime, although Johnston Fernando has been acquitted from all charges, the Supreme Court fixed for hearing on the 26th of June his bail petition. The Cabinet has approved a proposal to implement a program to encourage private investments to set up a network of temperature-controlled storage facilities and cold rooms in which small and medium-scale products, including fruits, vegetables and fisheries produce, are rife. The proposal was submitted by Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe in his capacity as Minister of National Policies and Economic Affairs. 1,000 bridges have been built in the project of constructing 4,000 bridges to build links among provinces to develop the rural economy. Cabinet approved the construction of 250 bridges as its next stage. The government's aim is to add 200 megawatts in 2020 and 1,000 megawatts in 2025 to the national power supply network. A proposal submitted by Minister of Finance and Mass Media Mangala Samaravira for a credit scheme for the solar power drive was approved by the Cabinet. Measures are planned to supply drinking water for about 130,000 people living in the Kurunegala district. Cabinet approved the Katupota, Bamunakotua and Panduasnuara water supply schemes for this purpose. Meanwhile, pipe water facilities are to be provided for Ampara and Batiklo districts. The Cabinet of Ministers approved the proposal presented by Rauf Hakim, Minister of City Planning and Water Supply, to submit the proposal to Standing Negotiation Committee appointed by the Cabinet. A person has been taken into custody with 1.5 kilograms of heroin. The arrest has been made from the Angampitiya area in Padukka. The heroin had been concealed in a house in this area. The detection was made by officials of the Colombo Crimes Division during a raid carried out in the early hours of today. The police said that this house had been operating as a narcotics distribution center. That's all we have for you today. Prime News returns tomorrow. And in the meantime, make www.itnnews.lk your go-to source for the very latest in news at home and overseas. Have a pleasant week. Good night.